Hello, friends. I'm recording this and hopefully it'll connect the same way as if I'm here. Let's just take a moment to arrive. And since I'm speaking with the teachers, we all have our own way of arriving and taking that moment to be here now. The topic I chose to speak about is dancing with difficulty. And the reason why I selected the topic was was that topic was talking with me. It was what I was living. And so it was there in front of me every single day and morning and evening. So let's begin with this Rumi's, it's a poem. It's longer than a quote. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows, who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. Treat each guest honorably. They may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be, be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Let's just take a moment to reflect on this. This human being is a guest house. Every morning is a new arrival. There's joy, there's depression, there is all all other unexpected guests that are arriving. And to be grateful, to be in surrender, to meet them at the door laughing, to invite them in. Perhaps as you reflect this and understand this, you also recognize that it's not easy. Our mind is not happy with unpleasant guests. It wants to put them under the rug, numb them, or just not face them. Put them in the side room, close the door on them. Rumi is trying to show us a different path. He is inviting us to dance towards difficulty, dance towards the darkest thoughts with laughter and open heart, because they may be clearing you for some new delight. Then I reflect on it and I look at January and I recognize that this, I live in Seattle, the weather gets on me during this time of the year, and I am either in the past reminiscing my childhood, which is spent in the tropicals, and every day there is sunshine, to imagining to be somewhere else. So then I start planning, recognize that that's not easy to get away. There is work, there are other commitments. I get disappointed. Then I find ways to numb myself. Hmm. Also in January, a very close friend, she lost her dad. This friend has gone through a lot of difficulty in her life, and her father was her anchor. She's distraught. She is, I mean, beyond grief, beyond grief. And I don't know what to do. I feel sad, I feel sorry, I feel the grief. And then, because I'm far away, she's in India. And then it's the distance. Then I'm distant. So here's another place I recognize I'm not dancing with that difficulty. I'm not meeting them at the door. I'm not inviting them in. I kind of recognize them. I kind of even say hello to them. And then I'm like, go away, go away, go away, go away. And I recognize this pattern. So, so as I'm talking with you, I mean, this is more of a conversation. And, with you, it's just, I'm talking about my own struggles and my own way, which I'm creating, and we are co-creating here. And so maybe their ideas come up, and maybe you would say, oh, I need to speak to Anu after this. And so anything is welcome and everything is welcome. That's what I'm practicing. And as this whole month, this entire month, we're towards the end of the month, this topic has just started to dance in front of me, and that's where it's dancing with difficulty. The guests are arriving in my life, and I am investigating, observing my response to those guests. As I struggle, I experiment. And then, as the experiments bring results, I see I struggle a little less. So, experiment a little more. So, I have experiences that I want to share in the second half of our conversation today. The first question I ask myself is that why do I need to turn towards difficulty? Why? Does numbing work? A little bit. In the moment sometimes, but afterwards always this thing comes rushing back. It went nowhere. Romanticizing works, a little bit. Again, very temporary. Reminiscing works, slightly. Denial works, hardly, hardly. It looks like my solutions are not very effective. I have to look at something else. I have mindfulness with me, and mindfulness is one of the tenets is contemplation and self-awareness. So sometimes I just feel happy that I am doing that at least. But my solutions are not very effective. You know, the first thing is the recognition that we need a different approach. The first thing in my work I do as a coach is sometimes helping people become aware of their blind spots. And then the next step can begin. And so, a part of our journey for everything we are experiencing, that's become a core tenet for me. Is this working? Does this feel aligned? What am I experiencing? And if I can name that. And so I am asking myself that question. The second is that to accept that we are in this human body living a human life. That's how it comes, part of the noble truths. Yeah, I'm not the first one, and I'm not the last one who will have all kinds of guests in my guest house. All kinds of guests. I can't make any conditions. The response is mine. What I have control over is how I choose to welcome them, how I choose to entertain them, how I choose to invite them, how I choose to be with them, how I choose to connect with them. It's a part and parcel of human life and journey. So these two are essential to move towards that next part, which is, greater awareness. But then what's in the moment? How do I respond? One of the things which I have started to experience or maybe notice, I think we are experiencing so many things and then we begin to notice perhaps our journey as a mindfulness teacher. That as I experience difficulty, I also notice wisdom that shows up. And in this month, there was a lot of wise people I spoke to. And in that, a pyramid emerged. A pyramid of how to even lean towards difficulty, not get away with it, not just invite it, just lean towards it. And that is the pyramid as a tool that I am going to share in the next few moments. The first part at the base layer of the pyramid is the physiological level. And we all know this. Our body feels, our body registers, our body responds. Mindfulness of body is not new to anyone in here. But that is the base level. Where am I in terms of my heart? Can I put a hand to my heart? Can I put a hand to my head? Can I put a hand to my chest? Can I put a hand to my belly and to my thighs, to my sides? Can I feel my body? Can I recognize the sensations or just become aware? And not can I is this a qualifying statement, and if I can't, maybe there's something wrong. It's just a moment by moment experiencing. Dancing with the body as is. We experience these sensations without trying to change anything. And then if we practice this for a few minutes, just for a few minutes, and maybe you can pause this recording, maybe not. I don't know how it's going to play. It's going to play as is. But it'll be good to just notice, experience these sensations moment by moment, not trying to change anything. Just dancing with the body as is. Actually, let's do this. Let's just take a moment to do that. Just for a couple of minutes, just close your eyes. If your eyes are already closed as you're listening to this, take a moment to arrive in the body again through your sit bones, through your other contact points on the surfaces the body is in contact with. Perhaps the feet is on the floor, if not on another surface. And just from feet up, start to notice the sensations that might be present in the feet, through the legs, in the thighs, in the hips, in the lower part of the abdomen, the pelvic area, in the belly, upper part of the belly, stomach area. Thoughts, sometimes lots can manifest here. And again, not for judgment, not for conclusion, just awareness, pure awareness. Chest, shoulders, upper back, arms, the hands, the neck, the face, and now the head. And now ask your body, what's your intelligence here? What is it you want to inform me? And just take a moment there before we move to the next part of the pyramid. And with that awareness, we move to the second state. And this state is the psychological. The physiological state was our state where we looked at the body. Now we look at the mind. What is the emotional state? What is the moment by moment feeling? And you name the emotional state. You use naming, noting. Again, we have tools to do this. We know mindfulness of emotions, it's not new. All these teachings are there for us for a reason. They're building us for this life and the future. You become aware of that emotional state and then tap into the intelligence of that state. What's your intelligence? What is your intelligence? What is it trying to inform me? This is not a hard thinking exercise. It's a generous, gentle, kind, self compassionate way of exploring. The third state is the motivational state. This is the direction in which we want to go. It's our underlying values and desires. And this became the game changer for me. Just truly, as I tried to investigate or ask this question, that what are you informing me, my motivational state? And I was surprised to find that actually I needed this difficulty. This difficulty was alignment towards my values. So many times we are so afraid of shaking the status quo. We know this is not aligned, but because it's difficult, we don't go there. Just let the life go by, pass by. And my struggles were not the struggles to move away from, it were to lean towards, because I knew once I touch them, once I face them, once I see that, and then I see it's not dangerous. So sometimes our body is feeling the pain and our mind is feeling the emotions. This is something I added on as a result of these conversations. And I said, yeah, yeah, this is okay. I'm dancing towards something more meaningful. Yes, it's going to ruffle the feathers. It's going within me and not, it will outside too, because when we align with our values, it will be obvious to others too, and it may not be something they are used to, like we haven't taken that step. And that was the game changer. Ask the motivational state, our direction, our underlying values, our desires. What are you informing me? Am I here aimlessly lost, trying to numb myself from something I need to face? Or I am uncomfortable and really suffering because I'm dancing towards something meaningful? And it can feel difficult. Anything that grows us is uncomfortable. So the final exercise is, what's the collective wisdom of these three states? Physiological, psychological, and motivational. Hello, my system. Hello, your system. We are a system, a complete universe. There is actually a verse, a mantra in from the Upanishads. I think it's Upanishads, but maybe Vedas. But here it is. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnmudachyate Purnasya Purnmadaya Purnmeva Vashishyate. And the verse means that I am complete in all respects. Everything I need is here available to me. And I am this part of this complete universe. And if you take complete out of complete, complete remains. So we get in touch with our own completeness and we ask ourselves, what is our collective wisdom? And collective here is this one psychological, physiological, and motivational wisdom here. And of course, I mean, there are other aspects of this which we don't cover here, because if nothing else works, there is meta. We are making, but first of all, I want you to um, not want, I think I invite you to make space to explore. Why? Why is this difficulty? And maybe it is a teaching moment. Maybe it is where we need to be, we need to go. And then we welcome it and we say, yes, yes, if you were not there in January, I wouldn't have ever learned how to make peace with what's happening outside. It wasn't for this difficulty this January. What do you think? What do you? So that's what I have today. And of course, for everything else, you know, there is meta. May we all be happy. May we all be well. May we all be aligned in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, my dear friends, my fellow peers, my teachers. Thank you. It's just a pleasure.